So I've been reading a little bit of The Love Affairs of a Bibliomaniac by Eugene Field. And he starts off in the early part of the book by talking about the first three books that had an impact on him, his first love affairs. His first love affair is with a children's primer, a New England primer. His second love affair is with Robinson Crusoe, and the third is with a book of fairy tales. And it got me thinking to some of my early love affairs with books, if you will. I remember at an early age absolutely loving Anna Sewell's Black Beauty. That was one I absolutely adored. I wish I still had my blue cloth edition, but I parted with that long ago. And any new copy just will not do. It's as if I'm waiting to add that book back to my collection until I come across that same blue cloth edition. And unfortunately, I could not tell you who the publisher was or in what year that particular edition was published. And so it's a bit of a hunt until I come across that exact edition. But that was one of my first love affairs in terms of reading. And then there is Freddie Goes to Florida by Walter G. White, I think that's the name of the author, something along those lines. The Freddie series, Freddie Goes to Florida being the first book in that series. And once again, I wish I could find the edition that I first read. And I think I may never, because I think it was perhaps library binding of a paperback edition. But I do have a hardcover, which is very, very good, but it's just not that battered, grayish green edition that I read for the first time at 6 years old. And then I had a bit of a love affair with the novels of Enid Blyton as a kid, particularly The Castle of Adventure. And once again, I wish I could find those first edition hardcovers with the battered, weathered pages that had become, soft to the touch, and those original dust jackets wrapped in cellophane and preserved on the library books. I wish I could find those, but I am forced to be content for now with the reprint paperbacks. But those are some of my first love affairs with books. And when I set out to film this little clip, I intended to only talk about the titles, but as soon as I talk about the titles, I think about the physical book itself. Now, of course, there were many, many other books when I first started reading, those Nancy Drew notebooks of the late 90s and early 2000s. A book called If I Just Had Two Wings. I'm forgetting the name of the author now, and I read through, some Hardy Boys books, the original Nancy Drews, pretty much anything I could get my hands on that was in that children's chapter book section of my very small local library branch. But I certainly had a love affair with books very early on.